Munich's Oktoberfest evenings glow with a golden haze. Lantern light flickers against the autumn sky. The scent of roasted almonds drifts through cool air, and distant music from brass bands lingers like a promise yet to be fulfilled. You feel the warmth of cheer surrounding you, even as the crispness of the Bavarian night brushes gently across your skin. Somewhere ahead, tradition and joy are waiting, woven together in a tapestry of sound, taste, and laughter that seems endless. Before we begin, find a place where you can rest. Let your body sink into comfort. Tonight I'll take you on a quiet journey to a place where only peace waits for you. Put on your headphones if you can, and stay with me until the very end, as each word will guide you deeper into the night. As you settle in, take a moment to let your shoulders grow heavy, to feel your breath soften, and while you rest, I'd love to know where you are listening from and what time it is for you right now. Leave a gentle note in the comments, and together we'll create a map of night and rest that circles the globe. The music still carries across the air, threaded with laughter, but in your mind it is soft and distant, becoming almost like a lullaby. This is where your journey begins in Munich during Oktoberfest, where every evening holds both a lively celebration and a hidden quietness waiting for those who know how to pause and listen. Nightfall Travels will be your companion tonight, guiding you through these hours of tradition, light, and serenity. You step into the scene with ease. The recurring sound of clinking glasses drifts to your ears, not loud, but steady, like the rhythm of a heartbeat, a motif that will follow you gently through every step of this journey. In the crowd, it carries joy, but in your resting mind, it becomes soft, like rain against a window. The evening light deepens sky, shifting from warm amber to the cool indigo of twilight. Lanterns swing from wooden beams, their glow gentle against polished wood tables, where families, friends, and travelers gather. The faint aroma of fresh bread mingles with malt and hops, earthy and comforting. You feel the warmth of the place, drawing you inward, even as your breath meets the crispness of the night. The city of Munich has known centuries of such gatherings, long before Oktoberfest became the world's largest festival. It was a wedding celebration, a royal union in 1810, that sparked joy so great the people repeated it each year. And so a tradition was born, carrying forward into this evening, where you now stand at the edge of festivity, ready to wander slowly into its embrace. You take one step, then another through the steady hum of voices. Yet for you, the sound is softened, as though the world has been wrapped in a blanket. Each detail finds you gently, the curve of the tents against the horizon, the scent of roasted chestnuts as you pass a small stall, the shimmer of autumn leaves under lamplight. With every breath you let go of the day you've had, you allow the cheer of this place to replace your own thoughts, steadying your heartbeat with its rhythm. You notice a small band playing near the corner of the square, their brass instruments glowing in lantern light, the melody rising and falling with ease. For a moment, you imagine yourself drifting closer, resting against a wooden beam, letting the music wash over you like a tide. The recurring motif returns, the soft chime of glass against glass. Not a toast shouted, not a loud cheer, but the subtle ring that lingers like wind through a bell tower. You hear it as a sign of connection, of belonging, of gentle celebration, and you carry that sound with you, letting it guide your steps deeper into the night. Beneath your feet, the ground feels solid, grounding you to this place. Overhead, the sky is darker now, speckled with the first stars of autumn. The lanterns flicker brighter against the cool air, inviting you onward. You breathe in, noticing how the coolness of night blends with the warmth of spiced pastries drifting from nearby ovens. You let that warmth curl inside you, a comfort that balances the crisp air around your skin. The journey has only just begun. Beyond the crowd, a quieter path waits, leading deeper into the tradition and wonder of these evenings. You can already sense it, that hidden place where cheer softens into calm, where music dissolves into memory, and where each step brings you closer to rest. And so you drift forward, guided by the soft clinking of glass, the glow of lanterns, and the promise of something waiting just beyond. The night deepens gently around you. The last traces of twilight fade, leaving Munich's sky a calm expanse of deep indigo. Against it, lanterns swing softly, their golden glow spreading in circles of warmth over the gathering crowd. The air feels cooler now, a light autumn breeze brushing your face. Yet everywhere the warmth of tradition rises, from the food, from the laughter, from the very spirit of the evening itself. That recurring motif comes again, the delicate clink of glasses floating through the air as naturally as the rustle of leaves. Each ring folds into the background, softer than a lullaby, steady as a heartbeat. It reminds you that you belong here, woven into this moment, even as your body sinks deeper into rest. You step away from the busiest tent, choosing a quieter path that winds between stalls and wooden benches. The scent of roasted almonds greets you, first warm and sweet, mingling with a faint note of cinnamon. You notice the way it drifts upward, curling like smoke into the night. Behind it comes another aroma, fresh pretzels, just pulled from the oven, their golden crusts sprinkled with coarse salt that sparkles in the lamplight. Your breath slows as you let those scents surround you. You imagine the soft texture of a pretzel in your hand, still warm salt brushing against your fingertips. You taste it in your mind, balanced between crisp crust and tender heart. As you walk, the comfort of it lingers, a reminder that even the simplest food carries centuries of tradition. A gentle story unfolds in the air. An older man, his voice calm and kind, tells a group of younger travelers about the origins of the pretzel. He speaks of the shape said to mirror arms folded in prayer, a symbol of blessing and peace. His words carry softly on the breeze, blending with the laughter of his companions, and then fading into the rhythm of footsteps and music. You continue slowly, letting your senses open wide. The cobblestones beneath your feet hold the memory of countless celebrations. Every step feels steady, grounding you in this place, even as your mind begins to drift. Ahead, a smaller tent beckons, its fabric striped in soft blue and white, the colors of Bavaria fluttering gently in the night air. Inside, the atmosphere is calmer than the grand halls. Families sit together, their conversations hushed, their smiles warm. A young child rests her head against her grandmother's shoulder, her small hand still holding a gingerbread heart decorated with white icing and the word Liebe, love. The sight touches something deep within you, a reminder of simple comfort, of belonging, of love, passed from one generation to the next. The motif appears again, this time softer, as though coming from within the tent itself. Two glasses meet gently, a quiet toast between grandmother and grandfather. The sound is faint, but it lingers, wrapping itself around the scene like a blessing. You breathe in, noticing the shift. The music outside fades to a gentle hum, replaced by the faint strumming of a guitar played slowly in the corner of the tent. The notes rise and fall like waves, calm and steady, encouraging you to rest deeper. For a moment, your awareness turns inward. You notice your own breath, the coolness as it enters, the warmth as it leaves. You let it slow in rhythm with the music until your body feels even lighter, as though carried by the melody itself. And then your attention returns outward to the glow of lantern light reflecting in polished wooden tables, to the soft smiles exchanged between strangers who feel like friends for a night, to the warmth of tradition that wraps itself around you, as steady as the air, as constant as the sound of clinking glass. An American touch arises quietly. Without effort, you remember the feeling of small-town gatherings back home when autumn evenings drew families to a county fair. The scent of candied apples, the glow of string lights above Main Street, the sound of music played from a distant stage. Here in Munich, it feels the same, a familiar comfort carried across an ocean, bridging you to this night through shared joy and tradition. You walk slowly back outside, the cool air meeting your skin again. The stars shine brighter now, scattered across the sky like tiny lanterns of their own. The tents glow warmly beneath them, little islands of cheer in the gentle dark. And always the motif returns, a faint ring of glass, steady and calm, reminding you that joy need not be loud, that tradition can also be quiet. Ahead lies another path leading further into the festival, past brighter tents, past music rising like waves towards something deeper, softer, waiting within the night. And so you drift onward, your steps unhurried, your body light. The glow of Oktoberfest surrounds you, the air carries its comfort, and the promise of discovery lies just ahead. The carousel turns slowly in the distance. Its lights trace soft circles of gold and red against the deep night sky, reflecting in the eyes of children who watch with quiet awe. The air carries the faint creak of wood and the gentle rise of music from its organ, a tune both playful and soothing. As you draw closer, the sound folds into your awareness like a lullaby hidden in the heart of the festival. That motif greets you once again, the soft clink of glasses, faint yet steady, drifting from a nearby tent. It threads itself into the carousel's music as though the two belong together, celebration and calm moving side by side. You carry the sound with you as you pause, letting the carousel's glow bathe your face, the cool breeze mingling with the warmth of lamplight. The scent of roasted chestnuts returns rich and earthy, curling upward with the smoke from a small vendor's fire. You imagine holding one in your hand, its shell cracked open to reveal tender warmth. The flavor, nutty and sweet, lingers on your tongue as you step slowly past the stall, each detail grounding you more deeply in the comfort of this place. A micro-story unfolds before your eyes. A father lifts his daughter onto the carousel, her laughter soft but bright as she settles onto a painted horse. She holds the reins with small hands while the father stands beside her, steadying her gently as the ride begins. Their laughter rises together, carrying joy into the night. And then, as the carousel makes its slow circle, their voices drift away, folding into the greater music of the evening. You breathe deeply, letting that joy fill your chest. Not the sharp joy of excitement, but the soft, enduring kind that warms from within. You let it settle in your body, calming every muscle, reminding you of moments in your own life when simple scenes brought lasting peace. The path curves onward, leading past the carousel into a quieter stretch of the grounds. Here, the crowd thins, the lanterns fewer, and the night more present. Overhead stars gleam brightly, untouched by the bustle of the festival. You tilt your head slightly, noticing how they seem to mirror the lanterns strung below sky and earth, reflecting each other in perfect balance. Again, the motif appears, this time carried by a group of friends seated on a wooden bench. They raise their glasses gently, voices low, sharing a quiet toast. The ring of their glassware drifts outward, reaching you as if it were meant to. For them, it marks camaraderie. For you, it marks belonging, a reminder that every sound here carries a thread of connection. A faint chill moves through the air, the kind that brushes across your arms like silk. You welcome it, letting the sensation sharpen your awareness, then dissolve into calm. A lantern sways slightly in the breeze, its light shifting across the cobblestones at your feet. The rhythm of that motion soothes you as if each flicker were timed to your breath. You pause here, closing your eyes for a moment. You feel the ground beneath you, solid and cool. You hear the carousel behind you still circling slowly. You smell the lingering sweetness of almonds and chestnuts in the air. And when you open your eyes, the scene feels brighter, steadier, as though it had waited for you to notice it fully. In the quiet, your mind drifts for a moment to another memory, perhaps of autumn evenings, back home when small town fairs filled the air with the scent of fried dough, the glow of Ferris wheels turning against the night. That memory feels close familiar, blending seamlessly with this Bavarian night. You realize how traditions, no matter where they live, hold the same essence, comfort, connection, joy passed gently from one heart to another. You begin walking again, your steps slow, almost weightless. The cobblestones guide you toward another gathering place, a long wooden hall, its entrance lined with ivy and lanterns. The music here is softer strings and the accordion weaving together a melody that feels timeless. You pause at the doorway, sensing the calm within the invitation to step further into tradition's embrace. The motif lingers once more, a soft chime of glasses, this time from within the hall. The sound blends with the strings of the accordion, as though woven directly into the song. For you, it is a signpost, a guide that leads you further into this journey. You inhale, letting the warmth of the hall reach you even before you step inside. You exhale, feeling your shoulders sink deeper, your body surrendering to rest. And just beyond the door, new wonders await, quieter stories, softer melodies, traditions unfolding slowly in the golden light. You step across the threshold of the wooden hall. The change is subtle but soothing. Outside, the air was cool and brisk, touched by the scents of chestnuts and autumn leaves. Inside, warmth greets you at once, wrapping around you like a blanket. Golden lanterns line the beams, their light falling across polished tables and wooden benches. The glow is gentle, steady, as though it has been burning here for generations. The motif greets you again, a soft clink of glasses, this time closer, clearer, but even here it is not loud. Instead, it rings like a bell struck with care, a note that drifts and lingers in the warm air. For the guests within it is cheer and celebration. For you, it is comfort, a signal that you are safe, that you can sink deeper into the moment. Your eyes wander slowly across the hall. Long tables stretch before you, filled with families and friends, and their voices hushed but joyful. You notice the small details that tell of tradition, the embroidery on a woman's blouse, white and red thread, forming flowers that echo the fields of Bavaria. The carved patterns in the beams above, shapes of leaves and vines that wind together like history itself. The air carries a new aroma. Roasted chicken, its skin crisped golden, paired with fresh herbs that lift in delicate notes. Beside it, another scent lingers, tangy sauerkraut, slow cooked until tender, its sharpness softened into comfort. You breathe deeply, letting those aromas curl into your chest, grounding you further in the hall's embrace. At one corner, a group of musicians sits quietly, their instruments poised. A violin begins its sound, gentle and fluid, weaving a melody that seems older than memory. An accordion follows its chords, soft, rising, like breath falling like a sigh. Together they play a tune that feels like a story told without words, one of fields and autumn, of families, gathered by firelight, of time itself, slowing to a gentle rhythm. You let your body sway slightly in time with the music. Each note feels as though it guides your breath in then out, until your chest moves with ease, your shoulders sink deeper, and your body grows heavy with comfort. In the soft glow, a small story unfolds before your eyes. An older couple sits at the edge of the hall. The man lifts his glass, gently, eyes crinkling as he shares a quiet toast with the woman beside him. She smiles, her hand resting lightly on his. They do not need words. Their silence speaks of years lived together, of celebrations past, of evenings like this, one carried gently through time. You watch for a moment, and then you let the image rest inside you like a keepsake, folded into memory. The motif lingers still. That chime of glass this time, joined with the sigh of the accordion, the two sounds blending until you cannot tell them apart. It feels like a reminder that joy can be soft, that connection can be quiet, that tradition itself can lull you into peace. For a moment, you close your eyes. You feel the warmth of the hall around you, steady and kind. You hear the music rise, then drift like smoke through rafters. You smell the mixture of roasted chicken, herbs, and bread grounding you in comfort. You let each sense hold you until your body is no longer separate from the hall, but part of its rhythm, part of its gentle embrace. Your mind drifts to an echo of home, to evenings when autumn settled in small American towns, when wooden halls or church basements filled with neighbors, when potlucks lined the tables with warm dishes, and children ran beneath strings of lights. The memory is close, not foreign, reminding you how traditions cross oceans, how warmth belongs to everyone. When you open your eyes again, the hall seems brighter, more alive. You notice a mural painted along one wall, a Bavarian field in full autumn with mountains rising in the distance, their peaks touched by snow. You let your gaze linger, feeling as though you are standing not just in the hall, but in the painted landscape itself, both present and timeless. The violin plays one final phrase, sweet and lingering. The music fades slowly into scenic, and for a moment the hall rests in stillness, voices hushed, lanterns glowing the air thick with memory. Then, gently, the conversations resume, the clinking of glasses returns, and life carries on as it always has. You stand ready to wander once more. Beyond the hall, the night still waits, filled with scents and sounds you have yet to discover. You know that each step will carry you further into deeper tradition, into softer wonder, into quieter peace. And so you move again toward the door, lantern light guiding you outward as the motif follows a last gentle chime of glass, leading you into the cool embrace of the night. The cool night air greets you once more as you step outside the wooden hall. After the warmth within, the breeze feels refreshing, brushing lightly against your face, filling your lungs with crisp autumn clarity. Overhead, the sky deepens, a dark velvet scattered with stars, their light steady and calm. Lanterns sway gently in the breeze, each glow a small anchor of warmth amid the vast night. The motif returns softly, the clink of glasses drifting from the hall behind you, quieter now with distance yet still present, like an echo that follows wherever you walk. It blends with the rustle of leaves, with the hum of distant music, reminding you that joy lingers even when you step away. It carries you forward steady and sure into the quieter reaches of the festival. A row of stalls lines the path ahead, each one offering something different. The aroma of candied nuts fills the air, sweet and caramelized, mingling with the earthy scent of freshly baked bread. From another stall drifts the scent of apples stewing in cinnamon, warm and spiced, a fragrance that feels like comfort itself. You pause to breathe it in, letting the warmth of it settle deep in your chest. Your steps lead you to a small gathering by a storyteller's booth. A woman, her hair silver in the lantern light, sits upon a wooden stool. Around her, a circle of listeners lean in, their faces glowing with quiet attention. Her voice is low and melodic, carrying with it the cadence of tradition. You linger at the edge, listening as she weaves an old Bavarian tale. She speaks of the alpine spirit said to wander the mountains, keeping watch over travelers who pass through. Some stories say they carry lanterns to guide the lost. Others whisper that their songs drift down valleys on autumn nights, a melody that comforts those far from home. As her words rise and fall, the night itself seems to shift, the air colder, the stars sharper, the silence deeper. You let her tale wrap around you like a cloak woven from memory and myth. The motif appears within her story too. She describes the sound of the spirit's bells ringing softly as they pass unseen. And though she means another sound, You hear it as the same gentle clink of glasses you've carried all night. A reminder that folklore-like tradition weaves itself into the present, into your journey, into every quiet sound that soothes your rest. You close your eyes for a moment as she speaks. You feel your breath match the rhythm of her words. You let her story paint its pictures in your mind: lanterns glowing on mountain paths, stars reflected in alpine lakes, footsteps steady on trails that vanish into mist. Each image settles like a dream, softening the edges of thought, guiding you deeper into calm. When the story ends, the listeners applaud softly, their hands meeting in quiet appreciation. The woman bows her head with a gentle smile, and for a moment the night feels fuller, as though her words remain floating in the air long after her voice has stilled. You drift onward, leaving the booth behind. The path leads past a small Ferris wheel, its cabins glowing like lanterns strung in a circle against the sky. Slowly, it turns, carrying its passengers upward toward the stars. You pause, watching the cabins rise and fall in their gentle rhythm. The motion itself calms you, steady and patient, like breath taken in and breath let go. The motif lingers again, a faint clinking from one of the cabins as two travelers share a toast high above. The sound floats down to you, carried on the breeze, softer than before, yet still present. It feels now less like cheer and more like blessing, as if every ring is a wish sent into the night. Your gaze follows the wheel as it turns higher and higher until one cabin pauses at its peak. From there, the city of Munich spreads below, rooftops and spires glinting in the starlight. You imagine standing there, gazing down at the glow of tents and lanterns, at the sweep of the Isar River flowing quietly beyond. The thought fills you with awe, a gentle reminder of how vast the world is and how peaceful it can be when seen from above. The wheel turns again, lowering its cabins back to earth, and with it, your thoughts settle once more, grounded, calm, steady in the rhythm of the night. You walk onward, guided by lantern light, by the scents of cinnamon and apples, by the soft hum of distant music. The path ahead curves toward another space where the heart of tradition beats even more quietly, where symbols and stories linger in the details of art, craft, and song. And so you step forward, carrying with you the warmth of folklore, the calm of gentle motion, and the echo of the motif still ringing softly in your mind. The path narrows into a quieter lane. Lanterns hang lower here, their light soft and golden, illuminating stalls lined with Bavarian crafts. The crowd has thinned, the sounds of music and laughter, now a distant hum. The night feels slower in this corner, more intimate, as though tradition has gathered close around you. The motif comes once again, the gentle clink of glasses, this time faint and far away, as if carried by memory itself. It lingers in the silence like a reminder not of festivity alone, but of connection of hands meeting in warmth, of moments preserved through sound. You pause by a stall where carved wooden figures stand in neat rows. Their faces are kind, their shapes simple yet detailed. Farmers, shepherds, children, each one painted with care. The craftsman sits behind the table, his hands busy with a small knife shaving curls of wood from a fresh carving. His expression is calm, his movement steady, as though time itself bends around the rhythm of his work. The scent of pine and oak rises from the shaving, sharp but clean, mingling with the night air. You breathe it in, grounding yourself in its earthiness, feeling the texture of the wood in your mind, smooth and cool against your fingertips. You linger, watching the figure take shape until the craftsman looks up and nods a quiet greeting, simple and sincere. Further along, another stall displays painted steins, their surfaces glinting in the lantern glow. Each one tells a story: villages nestled beneath mountains, rivers winding through forests, parades of people in bright, traditional dress. You let your eyes drift across them, each image a fragment of history, a symbol of belonging. You imagine lifting one gently, feeling its cool ceramic weight in your hands, hearing the echo of that familiar motif when glass meets glass. At the next stall, gingerbread hearts hang on ribbons decorated with bright icing. Words of affection and blessing curl across their surfaces. Ich liebe dich. For dich alles Gute. The scent of spice rises sweetly, a blend of clove, nutmeg, and cinnamon that warms your chest. You picture the taste soft and sweet on your tongue, carrying the comfort of autumn itself. A small story unfolds nearby. A young man chooses a gingerbread heart and hands it shyly to his companion, her cheeks glowing in the lantern light. She smiles, slipping the ribbon around her neck, the heart resting against her chest. They walk away together, laughter soft between them. The gingerbread a token not just of sweetness, but of memory. You watch them fade into the crowd and you carry their warmth with you, tucked gently into your own journey. The motif returns softer still. Somewhere behind you, a quiet group shares a toast, their voices low, their glasses meeting with care. The sound is fragile, delicate, like a bell carried on the wind. You realize that the clinking no longer feels like celebration alone. It feels like blessing, like tradition itself, whispering through time. Your breath slows again as you notice, in, then out. You let your shoulders sink lower, your chest grow lighter. Each inhale carries the sweetness of gingerbread, the spice of cinnamon. Each exhale carries away the weight of the day, leaving only ease, only comfort. A mural catches your attention at the far end of the lane. Painted upon wood, it shows the royal wedding of 1810, where Prince Ludwig and Princess Therese celebrated with the people of Munich the very moment that gave birth to Oktoberfest. Horses parade across the panel, musicians play, and crowds gather, all bathed in warm autumn light. The painting seems alive beneath the lantern glow, as though you could step into it, becoming part of history itself. An echo of home brushes your thoughts of autumn fairs, where murals were painted on barns, or town halls where stories of harvest and history were kept alive through color and line. The connection feels natural, reminding you that art, wherever it appears, is a way of holding memory steady. The lane bends again, leading away from the stalls. The sounds of the festival fade behind you, leaving the night calmer, the air clearer. The lanterns thin, replaced by the wider sky, where stars shine in quiet brilliance. You walk slowly, your steps light, carrying the scent of wood, the sweetness of spice, the glow of art and memory with you. And still the motif follows, faint, steady, softer with every step. A promise that the night will guide you deeper into tradition, deeper into calm. Ahead, another space begins to open, one where music will rise again, but gentler, carried on the night air like a whisper of wonder. The lane opens into a wide clearing beneath the open night sky. The festival stretches here like a tapestry of sound and light, yet the air feels spacious, unhurried. Lanterns hang from tall poles, their glow mingling with starlight, until it is hard to tell where earth ends and heaven begins. The coolness of the breeze touches your skin, refreshing and gentle, as if it carries with it the quiet blessing of the night. The motif greets you once more, a faint clink of glasses, carried on the wind, softer now than ever before. It lingers like a note in a song, a reminder that tradition is still with you, following like a companion, steady and kind. You let the sound sink into your chest, matching its rhythm with the slowing beat of your heart. Ahead, music begins to rise, not the boisterous kind that fills the largest tents, but something quieter, almost reverent. A small group of musicians has gathered beneath a wooden awning, their instruments catching the lantern glow. A zither strums softly, its notes delicate as falling leaves. A harp follows its strings, shimmering in the cool air. Together, they create a melody that feels as though it belongs to the stars themselves. You pause, letting the music reach you fully. Each note drifts outward, hanging in the air before dissolving into silence, only for another to follow like a ripple across water. You notice how your breath slows with the song, how your body eases further into stillness, how your mind grows quieter, as if it too is listening. A story begins to weave itself through the music. An old ballad of Bavaria carried in a voice low and tender, sung by a woman seated among the players. Her words describe the rolling fields, the golden harvest, the mountains that rise like guardians in the distance. Though the song is sung in German, its meaning is clear in the warmth of her tone, in the softness of her delivery, a hymn to home, to belonging to peace. The motif appears again, folded gently into the performance. Two travelers seated nearby lift their glasses in quiet salute, their movement in rhythm with the song. The clink is faint, almost a whisper, but it blends seamlessly with the music, as though it had been written into the melody itself. You close your eyes for a moment, and in the darkness, the music becomes a landscape. You see the fields she sings of their stalks golden beneath an autumn sun. You see the mountains rising beyond peaks, tipped with snow, their silence vast and eternal. You feel the wind crossing those fields, the coolness on your skin, the steadiness of the earth beneath your feet. Each image settles in you, not sharp, but dreamlike, guiding you further inward, further toward rest. Your breath deepens, matching the rhythm of the harp, in, then out. Each inhale carries a sense of fullness, as though you are drawing the very song into your body. Each exhale carries ease, releasing tension, leaving only serenity in its place. When you open your eyes again, the scene feels richer. The lanterns glow brighter against the dark sky, the stars sharper in their stillness. The musicians continue their music, threading through the crowd, wrapping every listener in its soft embrace. You notice how faces around you look softer now, eyes heavy, shoulders relaxed, as though the entire gathering is being guided toward peace together. A small memory stirs in your own heart of evenings back home, when music drifted from porches in small towns, when neighbors gathered with guitars and voices under a sky scattered with stars. The memory blends with this Bavarian night, reminding you that music, wherever it is found, carries the same essence, the power to still, to soothe, to bind people together in quiet belonging. The song begins to fade, each instrument slowing, each note lingering longer before dissolving into silence. At last, the harp plays a final phrase, sweet and gentle, a sound that seems to rest in the air long after the strings have stilled. And then silence. Soft, steady, comforting silence, filled only by the whisper of the breeze and the distant hum of the festival beyond. The motif lingers one last time before you move on. A delicate clink of glass so soft it might have been imagined. Yet you know it is there, guiding you, still steady as breath, certain as night. The path bends again, leading you deeper into the festival. Beyond the music, beyond the glow of lanterns, another discovery waits, one of wonder, of quiet awe, where tradition and beauty meet beneath the stars. You follow the path as it drifts gently away from the music. The night grows calmer, the festival sounds softening behind you until they seem more like memory than presence. Ahead, the glow of lanterns thins, giving way to a wider stretch of open ground beneath the vast Bavarian sky. The air is cooler here, the breeze gentle on your skin, carrying with it the faintest scent of wood smoke and autumn leaves. The motif returns as it always does. A delicate clink of glasses, but now it is distant, softened, until it feels less like sound and more like an echo deep within you. It has become less tied to celebration and more a symbol of connection, of moments shared quietly across tables, across time. You carry it with you like a heartbeat, steady, calm, guiding. Before you, a meadow stretches beyond the festival tents. Lanterns placed here and there glow faintly, their light mingling with the stars above. The hush of the grass beneath your steps feels different, softer, quieter, as though you have crossed into a space where tradition touches wonder, where cheer gives way to awe. In the center of the meadow, a wooden pavilion rises simple and open on all sides. Inside, benches form a circle around a low fire that burns steadily, its flames casting a gentle glow across the faces of those gathered. The crackle of wood joins the night, mingling with the distant strains of music still drifting from the festival's heart. You take a seat near the edge, letting the warmth of the fire reach your skin, balancing the coolness of the breeze. For a moment, silence fills the space. A silence not empty, but full, as though holding its breath. Then a storyteller begins, her voice, low, steady, woven with years of memory. She speaks of Munich's past, of the royal wedding that first sparked Oktoberfest in 1810, when Prince Ludwig and Princess Therese invited the people to celebrate in joy that lasted 5 days. She tells of how that joy was not lost but renewed each year, growing into the tradition that now welcomes travelers from across the world. As she speaks, her words carry the weight of centuries, yet they flow like a lullaby, calming, soothing, eternal. The motif threads into her story. She recalls the way the first celebrations ended with a race of horses across the meadow, where the sound of hooves was joined by the clink of mugs raised in triumph. And though the centuries have passed, the sound is still here, echoing softly in your mind, unchanged, unbroken, enduring. You close your eyes, letting her story guide you inward. You imagine the meadow long ago filled with riders and horses, their breath misting in the cool air, the crowd gathered in cheer. You feel the continuity of time, how one night folds into another, how centuries live in the traditions we keep. And you realize that you are part of that continuity now, your presence here, another thread woven into the fabric of memory. Your breath slows again, in and out. The warmth of the fire deepens your comfort while the cool air steadies you. Your body grows heavy, your mind soft, as though each word of her story is a hand guiding you deeper into rest. When the storyteller finishes, silence returns. But it is a full silence, rich and steady, filled with the breath of those around you, with the steady crackle of fire, with the shimmer of stars overhead. You look up and the sky feels infinite, the stars brighter now than you have seen before, as though they have drawn closer just for this night. The motif lingers once more, but now it is not heard with your ears. It is felt. A sense of unity, of belonging, as though every glass raised, every sound shared, every tradition kept, is part of the same soft rhythm of life itself. You carry it not as sound, but as memory, as presence. And in that moment, you realize something deeper, that every festival, every gathering holds not only cheer and laughter, but also quiet wonder, that within joy lies peace, and within tradition lies rest. The fire burns steady, the stars hold above the air, cradles your skin in coolness and warmth, and you remain suspended in the soft climax of the journey where awe and serenity meet. But ahead, the path still waits, ready to carry you deeper into calm, into softer discovery, into the quiet spaces where tradition and dream entwine. The meadow stretches wider as you rise from the pavilion. The fire's glow fades behind you, replaced once more by starlight spread across the Bavarian sky. Each step feels slower, lighter, as though the earth itself is carrying you gently forward. The air is calm now, touched by the faint sweetness of grass and the cool drift of night. The motif returns softer than ever, not heard as much as felt. A delicate chime within your chest, like memory echoing through time. It no longer seems to come from glasses raised in cheer, but from something deeper, a rhythm of belonging, the quiet pulse of tradition that moves unseen yet steady through every generation. You pause at the edge of the meadow where lanterns line a small path that winds toward a grove of trees. Their leaves shimmer faintly in the starlight, some touched with gold, and rust, their autumn color softened into silver beneath the moon. The breeze stirs them gently, a rustle like whispered blessings guiding you inward. As you walk beneath the branches, the world seems to quiet further. The sounds of the festival are distant now, softened into a hum. In their place, the night takes on its own voice. The creak of wood, the sigh of leaves, the soft brush of your own steps on the path. Each sound is calm, steady grounding. Within the grove stands a small wooden shrine. Its beams are carved with intricate patterns of vines and flowers worn smooth by time and touch. A single lantern hangs above its door, casting a soft circle of light that spills gently across the clearing. You approach slowly, your breath deepening your body, drawn into the stillness that seems to radiate from within. On a bench nearby, an old man sits quietly. His posture is relaxed, his gaze lifted to the sky above the trees. You take a seat beside him, and for a while, no words are needed. Silence itself feels like conversation here, full and complete, carrying more than words ever could. Then softly, he begins to speak. He tells you that this grove has long been a place where villagers came to pause during the festival, to step away from cheer and find quiet balance. He speaks of generations who sat beneath these very branches, who listened to the wind, who let their hearts rest, even as celebration carried on nearby. His words are steady low, like the turning of a page in a book long loved. The motif appears again, woven into his tale. He recalls how people would bring their steins here, not to toast loudly, but to touch them gently together, a soft chime in the quiet night, a blessing shared without words. And as he speaks, you feel that sound within you again, as though it had never left, as though it has lived here all along. You breathe deeply, letting the moment sink into your body, in, then out. With each inhale, the cool night air fills your lungs, carrying with it the scent of leaves and earth. With each exhale, your shoulders loosen, your mind clears, your body grows heavier, as though gravity itself were a cradle holding you safe. The old man's voice fades, not because he has stopped speaking, but because silence has become stronger, more eloquent than words. You glance at him once more, and he nods gently, a smile, soft in the lantern glow. Then he returns his gaze to the stars, and you understand that you too are meant to look upward, to let the night sky speak its own story. Above, the stars shine with quiet brilliance. Some glow steady, others flicker as though winking from across eternity. The longer you gaze, the more they seem to shift, to move, to arrange themselves into shapes that only you can see. Perhaps a mountain ridge, perhaps a river, perhaps a circle of glasses, raised in timeless cheer. The sky becomes a mirror, reflecting your own memories, your own quiet hopes. The motif lingers one last time in this part of the journey. It is no longer outside you, no longer distant. It is inside, steady, a rhythm of calm that moves with your breath, with your heartbeat, with the silence of the grove itself. The night deepens further. The shrine glows softly. The trees sway gently. The stars watch silently above. And you remain resting in the presence of it all, part of the quiet wonder that folds the festival into eternity. But the journey is not yet finished. Beyond the grove, another path waits, one that leads toward water, where reflections will carry the night into softer stillness, into deeper rest. The path from the grove slopes gently downward. The air cools as you walk, carrying with it the subtle scent of water. Ahoy! Ahead, you hear it before you see it. The faint murmur of a river, steady and unbroken, a voice older than the festival itself. Each step brings you closer until the trees part and the river lies before you, shimmering beneath the Bavarian night sky. The motif greets you again, a soft chime of glasses, but now it mingles with the sound of flowing water, as if the river itself has learned the rhythm of tradition. The two sounds blend into one, a reminder that celebration and stillness can share the same space, that joy and calm can move together like current and tide. You step closer to the edge where the river widens into a calm pool. Lanterns from the festival reflect in its surface, their golden circles trembling gently in the flow. Above them, the stars mirror themselves in the same water until sky and earth seem joined one great expanse of light. The cool air brushes your skin, refreshing, steady. You breathe it in, letting the freshness expand in your chest. You breathe out, watching the mist of your breath drift softly across the surface of the water, dissolving into the night. A small boat rests moored at the bank, its wooden sides glowing faintly in lantern light. A ferryman sits within it, his figure quiet, his oar resting across his knees. He nods gently as you step closer, as though expecting you. Without words, he gestures toward the boat, an invitation simple and timeless. You step in the wood, creaking softly beneath your weight. The ferryman pushes away from the bank, and the boat glides into the river with ease, the water parting smoothly before it. The festival remains behind its lights now, a soft halo on the horizon. Ahead lies only the river, the stars above, and the silence that folds them together. The motif lingers not from the festival now, but from within. You imagine the faint clink of glasses, as though it is carried in the ripple of the oar, in the hush of the current. It feels like a blessing passed onward, like memory floating with you through the night. You close your eyes, listening to the river. Its sound is steady, unhurried, like breath itself. Each ripple is a whisper, each current a lullaby. You let your body sway gently with the boat, weightless, surrendered to the rhythm of water. The ferryman hums a tune, low and simple. It is not a song of words, but of tone, a melody that matches the river's pace. The sound vibrates softly through the air, through the wood of the boat, through your own chest. It anchors you, grounds you, while also carrying you deeper, as though the tune itself is a path leading into rest. A memory stirs of rivers back home, quiet beneath the moon, of summer nights when the water carried reflections of porch lights, of fireflies dancing above its surface. The memory feels close, blending with the present, reminding you that water everywhere holds the same essence, reflection, continuity, calm. The ferryman's oar dips once more into the current, and ripples spread outward across the river. They catch the lantern reflections, breaking them into shimmering pieces that dance across the surface like scattered stars. You watch as they slowly knit themselves whole again, the light always returning to unity no matter how it is broken. The motif returns, faint, steady this time, felt in the joining of ripples, in the coming together of scattered lights. It is a reminder that unity is always present. That connection remains even when the pieces drift apart. The boat glides onward until the river bends. Beyond the curve, you see a quiet landing, a small wooden dock glowing faintly in the lantern light. The ferryman guides you toward it, steady and sure. As you draw near the river, narrows, the current slows, and the silence deepens, as though the world itself has hushed to watch. The boat touches the dock with a gentle bump. The ferryman nods again, his task complete. You step onto the wooden planks, feeling their cool firmness beneath your feet. The boat drifts away, its figure fading into shadow until only the river remains steady and calm. The night here is softer than anywhere before. The river whispers, the stars gleam, the lanterns glow steady. And you know that the path continues, still leading into deeper silence, into the heart of wonder, into the gentle embrace that waits just beyond. You stand upon the wooden dock, the river at your side, the stars overhead. The world feels hushed, as though it is holding you gently in its hands. Each breath enters slowly, filling your chest with coolness. Each breath leaves quietly, carrying away the last remnants of weight from your day. You feel lighter now, as though you could drift into the night itself. The motif returns once more, a chime so delicate it seems to come not from glass, but from the river's own surface as ripples meet softly in the dark. It is no longer a sound alone, but a feeling of connection, of blessing, of something greater than yourself moving steadily beneath the quiet. Ahead, a path of lanterns leads away from the dock, curving into the trees. Their glow is faint, their light spilling in circles upon the ground like stepping stones of warmth. You follow unhurried, your footsteps soft upon the earth. The air carries the scent of moss and pine mingled with a faint sweetness, as though the forest itself is breathing alongside you. The path leads into a small glade open to the night sky. At its center stands a stone circle, its edges worn smooth by time. Within it, a single oak tree rises, its branches wide and ancient, its leaves touched with silver by the starlight. The air beneath it feels different, hushed yet alive, as though the tree itself remembers every festival, every gathering, every quiet moment of rest across the centuries. You step closer, and for a moment everything slows. The rustle of leaves matches your breath. The stars seem to lean nearer, their light falling more brightly upon the clearing. The ground beneath you feels steady, solid, as though it holds the weight of generations in its silence. The motif lingers again, not in sound, but in presence. You feel it in the air, in the space between breaths, in the way the oak seems to stand as both witness and participant in the unfolding night. It is a reminder that tradition is not only celebration, it is also stillness, memory, belonging. You sit upon a stone at the edge of the circle, letting the oak's presence settle around you. The bark glows faintly in the starlight, its patterns intricate like maps drawn by time itself. You reach out in your mind, tracing those lines, following them as they spiral and weave until they seem less like bark and more like rivers' paths and stories stretching endlessly across the earth. Your breath deepens, in and out. You imagine roots sinking deep into the ground, steady and eternal. You imagine branches reaching high into the sky, touching the stars. You imagine yourself as part of this tree held between earth and heaven, grounded and free all at once. A small story seems to rise from the silence itself. You remember how Bavarian folklore often spoke of trees as guardians, keepers of memory, protectors of villages. People would tie ribbons to their branches, leaving wishes, blessings, hopes whispered into the night. And for a moment you see it here too, ribbons glinting in the starlight, their colors soft, their knots carrying the weight of countless dreams. The motif sounds again ever so faintly. Perhaps it is imagined, perhaps it is real, but you hear a gentle clink, as if two glasses had been touched together in quiet reverence beneath the oak. Not in cheer, but in gratitude, in acknowledgement of the moment of the stillness of the piece. You let that sound settle deep within you. You let gratitude fill your chest, warm and steady. You let the weight of tradition, of connection, of memory wash over you like water, leaving only calm behind. Above the stars shine steady, infinite. Around you, the forest breathes, the leaves stir the earth, hold you in silence. Within you, the motif echoes faint but unbroken, guiding you deeper into the soft heart of the journey. You remain there for a while, resting in the oak's presence, until the path once again beckons, lanterns glowing faintly in the distance. You rise slowly, carrying the stillness with you, carrying the gratitude within you. The path will lead you onward, not back into celebration, but further into wonder, toward the most tender quiet of the night, where reflection deepens into serenity. The lanterns guide you gently away from the oak. Their glow trembles softly against the night air, as if each flame were breathing alongside you. The path bends through a cluster of trees where shadows lie calm upon the earth, and every sound is softened into silence. The motif follows still, not sharp, not loud, but tender, like memory echoing deep within your chest. It has become less a clink of glass and more a pulse of presence, as if the night itself were raising a quiet toast to your journey, blessing every step you take. The trees part, and before you lies a clearing bathed in silver light. The moon has risen high, casting its glow upon a shallow pond at the meadow's edge. The water is still so still that it mirrors the heavens perfectly. Each star above has its twin below, each shimmer of light, doubled sky and earth folded into one seamless reflection. You step to the edge of the pond. The grass is soft beneath your feet, dew beginning to gather cool against your skin. You inhale slowly the scent of water mingled with damp earth and faint blossoms nearby. You exhale, watching the mist of your breath join the mist that hovers faintly across the pond's surface. The motif appears again, but now it is within the reflection itself. For as you gaze into the mirrored stars, you see the faint image of two glasses raise their rims, touching gently in silence. The ripple they cause spreads outward across the pond, distorting the stars for a moment before the surface calms again, whole and steady. It feels less like a sound now and more like a vision, a blessing carried in light. You close your eyes. In this moment, your breath deepens, your body grows heavier, your mind drifts softer. You feel the moonlight upon your skin, the earth beneath your body, the water's reflection resting quietly within you, and you realize that you are no longer only at Oktoberfest, no longer only in Munich. You are in a space between time, between celebration and silence, between waking and dream. A story stirs gently in your memory, whispered by tradition. Bavarian villagers once believed that on nights when the moon shone brightest, water became a mirror, not only of the stars, but of the soul, that those who gazed long enough would see their deepest truths reflected back to them, shimmering in silver. You look again into the pond, and though you see only stars, you feel the truth of the story within your chest, the truth that rest itself is a reflection, that peace waits quietly within you always. The motif lingers this time, carried by your heartbeat, steady, calm, unhurried. You realize that the clink of glasses, the symbol of cheer, of connection, has transformed. It has become not sound, but rhythm, not external, but internal, guiding you inward to the place where sleep begins. You breathe once more in and out. Each inhale carries moonlight, cool and silver, settling into your lungs like calm water. Each exhale carries away the noise of the day, leaving only stillness, only ease. You linger by the pond, gazing at the doubled stars. The air is crisp and clear, the earth steady beneath you, the silence deep and comforting. You feel as though you could remain here forever, resting at the threshold of reflection and dream. Yet the path still waits. Beyond the clearing, the lanterns continue, leading you gently onward toward the closing chapters of your journey, where the wonder will dissolve slowly into serenity and serenity into rest. You leave the moonlit pond, slowly carrying its reflection within you. The path curves gently through the trees once more, where lanterns sway faintly in the night breeze. Their light feels softer now, not meant to guide you toward discovery, but to ease you deeper into calm. Each step feels slower, steadier, as though time itself has begun to loosen its hold. The motif lingers in your chest, not as sound, not as vision, but as rhythm, a faint pulse steady as your breath, constant as your heartbeat. It has shifted fully now, no longer tied to cheer, but to stillness, to the quiet comfort that rests at the heart of tradition. The festival sounds have faded entirely. Only the hush of leaves and the faint sigh of wind accompany you. The night feels wider, the air cooler, the stars above brighter. You let them fill your senses, steadying your mind, soothing every edge of thought until it all begins to blur into softness. Ahead, the path leads to a meadow touched by frost. The grass glimmers faintly in the lantern glow, tiny crystals catching the light as though stars themselves have fallen to earth. You kneel briefly, brushing your hand across the blades, feeling their coolness delicate and crisp before they melt against your warmth. That sensation lingers, grounding you further into the night. You pause in the center of the meadow, letting silence stretch around you. It feels different now, not empty, but full, rich with the presence of everything you have seen and heard tonight. The laughter, the stories, the music, the river, the oak, the pond. All of them rest here with you woven together in memory, carried forward like threads in a tapestry. The motif arises once more, this time from within the silence itself. You imagine the faintest chime as if two glasses were touched in acknowledgement, not of festivity, but of completion. A quiet toast to the journey itself, to the path you have walked, to the calm you have found. You close your eyes and breathe deeply, in and out. Your shoulders sink further, your body grows heavier, your thoughts drift softer. With each breath, you feel yourself stepping closer, not to celebration, but to sleep itself, to the gentle border where awareness yields to dream. A memory stirs softly, far away but tender, of autumn nights, back home when frost first touched the grass, when you walked beneath string lights in small town streets, when the air smelled faintly of wood smoke and cinnamon. That memory blends seamlessly with this meadow, reminding you that calm wherever it is found is always the same, that peace needs no boundary, no language, no distance. You sit upon the frosted ground, the coolness seeping into your skin, balancing the warmth within. Above you, the stars feel closer than ever, so near you, imagine you could reach up and hold one in your palm. They shimmer steadily, and you realize they are not there to dazzle, but to soothe, each one a small light of reassurance, steady through the endless night. The motif hums gently in your chest, and you let it guide you inward, deeper into stillness, deeper into release. You imagine raising a glass, not to another, but to yourself, a toast to the rest you are about to enter, to the peace that has been waiting for you all along. The meadow holds you steady, the air cradles you. Cool and calm, the stars watch in silence, and you know that the journey is beginning to close, that the wonder has softened into serenity, and serenity is leading you toward rest. But the path continues still. The lanterns glow faintly at the meadow's edge, calling you forward, not to discovery, but to closure, to the final embrace of the night where all sounds dissolve into dream. The meadow fades behind you as you rise once more. Your steps are slow now, unhurried, each movement drawn out as though the night itself were guiding you gently forward. The lanterns along the path are fewer here, their glow faint, each one a small island of light amid the vast darkness. Between them, the stars stretch endless above their steady shimmer, filling the spaces where lanterns no longer reach. The motif follows you still, but now it is barely more than a whisper, a soft chime at the edge of perception, woven so gently into the rhythm of your breath that you cannot tell where one ends and the other begins. It has become a part of you, no longer an echo of the festival, but a quiet rhythm of calm within your own chest. The air is cooler here, yet comforting, its crispness clearing your mind with each breath. You inhale deeply, feeling it flow through you like a river. You exhale, letting your body grow heavier, your thoughts blur softer, your whole being loosen into stillness. The path leads to a hill, small and rounded. Its slope easy, its grass silver with dew. You climb slowly, each step a meditation, each breath in harmony with the earth beneath your feet. At the crest, the world opens once more, and you see Munich's lights in the distance glowing faintly across the horizon. But they are far softened by distance, more like stars fallen to earth than the bustle of a city. Here at the top, silence rests more fully than anywhere before. No music, no voices, no rustling leaves, only stillness, vast and whole. You sit upon the grass, its damp coolness pressing gently against you, anchoring you to the earth. Above the stars, gather close as though to keep you company in the final steps of your journey. The motif lingers for a moment longer. One last faint chime so quiet it feels imagined as though memory itself were giving you a soft farewell. You let it settle into your heart, into your breath, into your rest, knowing it has carried you through and now prepares to fade, leaving only silence behind. Your breath deepens, in and out. Each inhale carries the cool night air clear and refreshing. Each exhale carries you deeper into stillness, heavier into calm, softer into release. From here, the entire journey feels present at once. The lanterns, the music, the carousel, the hall, the oak, the pond, the river, each one lingers within you, not as separate places, but as a single path woven together, guiding you step by step into rest. The wonder has softened into serenity now. The cheer has dissolved into quiet. The tradition has become stillness, and the stillness has become sleep. You lie back against the hill, the grass cool beneath you, the stars endless above. The world holds you gently, the night surrounds you with ease, and you know that the journey is nearly complete. But the path is not yet closed. Beyond this hill, another descent waits, one last stretch, where silence deepens into dream, where every sound dissolves, where rest becomes complete. You remain upon the hilltop for a long moment, lying in the cool grass. The earth feels steady beneath you, a quiet anchor that holds you gently in place. Above, the stars shimmer in their endless stillness, each one glowing like a lantern hung in the sky, each one steady, constant, timeless. Your body grows heavier, your mind softer, your breath slower, as though the universe itself is rocking you towards sleep. The motif returns, faint, nearly gone, a memory more than a sound, a gentle chime like two glasses raised in a final blessing before dissolving into silence. It no longer belongs to the festival, nor to the night around you. It belongs to you now, a rhythm inside you, steady and calm, carrying you inward to the deepest rest. The air drifts cooler across your skin, but it comforts you, easing every muscle into surrender. You breathe deeply, and with each breath, your chest rises and falls in perfect rhythm with the night. Inhale, calmness enters. Exhale, all tension leaves. The cycle repeats, steady, unbroken, infinite, as the stars above. From the hilltop, you begin a gentle descent. The path downward is smooth, the grass soft beneath your feet. Lanterns line the way, but fewer now, their glow dimmer, as though they too are preparing to rest. Each pool of light carries you further, step by step, towards stillness. Between them, darkness wraps around you like a blanket, warm and protective. You reach the base of the hill, where a quiet meadow opens once more. Here there is no music, no laughter, no movement, only the hush of the earth, the cool of the air, the shimmer of stars reflected faintly in dew. You step into the meadow, and it feels as though you have stepped into a dream already, where the line between waking and sleep has all but dissolved. The motif hums once more in your chest, one last faint echo, before it fades entirely into breath, into silence, into nothing but peace. Its journey is complete, as yours is nearly too. You lie down upon the meadow's edge, the grass soft beneath you, the air cool against your skin. You close your eyes, and even behind your lids, the stars still shimmer, their glow carried inward, now becoming part of your own dreamscape. Your breath deepens, heavy and slow, like waves upon a quiet shore. Every detail of the night folds inward, the lanterns, the carousel, the music, the oak, the pond, the river, the fire, the stories, all of it settling like gentle layers of memory, not sharp, but blurred, softened into a single sensation, peace. You realize that the entire journey has been leading here, not to cheer, not to wonder, but to rest. And now the last step is only to surrender, to let go, to fall fully into the quiet arms of sleep. The meadow holds you, The stars watch over you, the air soothes you, and silence embraces you completely. But still, one final part waits. The closing of the journey, the gentle farewell, the invitation to rest whenever you wish, with nightfall travels by your side. The meadow lies still around you. The night has reached its quietest hour when every sound has softened into silence, when every lantern has dimmed to a final glow. The grass cradles your body in its cool embrace. The stars shimmer above in eternal calm, and your breath moves slowly, steadily, like the rhythm of the earth itself. The motif has faded now. The gentle clink that once followed you has dissolved into memory, its final echo resting within your heartbeat. It is no longer needed for its blessing, has already been given its rhythm, already carried you here to the very edge of sleep. You feel the fullness of the journey within you. The lanterns and music, the carousel's glow, the wooden hall with its warm traditions, the oak tree's silent presence, the moonlit pond, the river's reflection, the meadow touched by frost. Each moment has folded gently into the next, leading you here to this stillness, to this serenity. You take one final deep breath in and out, letting the cool night air fill you, letting the weight of the day drift away entirely. Your body feels heavy now, warm and relaxed, each muscle loosened into ease. Your thoughts have grown faint, soft as mist. Your mind rests on the threshold of dream ready to cross. The stars hold above you steady and constant. They feel as though they are waiting not to dazzle, not to awaken, but to guide you gently onward into the world of dreams. The meadow around you is safe, eternal, timeless, a place where you can surrender completely. And so, the journey closes. The festival's cheer has faded into silence, its music into stillness, its tradition into calm. All that remains is peace, waiting for you here, waiting within you always. If you enjoyed this journey, you're welcome to join me again whenever you wish. There are many more stories waiting for you, ready to guide you into restful dreams. Nightfall Travels will be here for you. Whenever you long for peace, whenever you need rest, whenever you wish to close your eyes and drift into the quiet embrace of night. Now,